Hello.
Okay.
Buongiorno. Hello.
Buongiorno.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning from Madrid.
Good morning. Okay, just good morning. Just 1 minute and we will start. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Marcella, buongiorno.
Ciao Veronica, buongiorno.
Ciao.
Sono Jennifer, buongiorno.
Buongiorno. So, okay, I'm just the other person arranging. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, we're correct.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. A really warm welcome from me, Viral Passport, from the ACL district of Lake of Piedmont. We want to thank for being here today, and we want also to thank the district of the Lake of Piedmont is Lake Maggiore Region for this appointment. Today we will do a virtual journey in the best of the Lake Maggiore region for a new experience of the name is Slow Beats. This webinar will be in 2 different moments, the first in the morning and the second during the afternoon. I want to leave the word to Silvia, just to the main hello to everyone. And we are going to talk about the Slow Beats project along with Miss Lorenzini and the director Mariani. So I'll just leave the word to Silvia to present the local tourism board. And you're welcome. And Silvia, please, can you present the project?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much, Marcella. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. So hi, everybody. First of all, a warm virtual welcome to the region of Lake Maggiore. And a huge thank you to all the tour operators and buyers connected for your involvement and for your future support in promoting our MICE destination abroad in new markets. My name is Silvia and I work for the tourism board, Distretto Turistico dei Laghi, which is the organizer of this webinar, Slow Beats, and the referent for the project Slow Beats, aiming to promote the MICE Congress event and wedding tourism in our destination. Today we can be supported by Viral Passport, by our partner agency, and so thank you very much to Stefano and to Marcella, also from Viral Passport for your precious technical support. So let me share with you my presentation. Okay. Can you see my first slide?
Я не знаю, куда оно делось. Я вообще не трогала.
Sorry? Sorry? Okay. Can you all see my first slide?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So, first of all, here in my first slide, you have a general presentation of our territory with some iconic pictures representing Lake Maggiore with the Borromeo Islands in the middle. Then in the left part of my first slide, you have Lake Corta with the island of San Giulio, and on the right you have the Ossola valleys, so our Alps. First of all, we are located in Upper Piedmont, so in Piemonte, in northwest Italy. We are at a very short distance from the Swiss border with Canton Ticino and Canton Valais, as well as from Malpensa International Airport, just 30 minutes from Lake Maggiore, and the cities of Milan and Turin. In particular, we are 1 hour far from Milan and 1.5 hours far from Turin. Here you have also our contact. So our local tourism board is located in particular in Stresa on Lake Maggiore. Here you have our address, our telephone number, and our email and websites. So if you want to take note, we are at your complete disposal also in the next future for answering all your questions. Okay. With over 4 million visitors a year, the 70% foreigner, the region of Lake Maggiore is, internationally speaking, the most relevant destination in Piedmont. Well, when I have to describe my territory, I always say green and blue landscapes, so different and yet so close. In fact, we have 3 lakes, surrounded by gentle slopes by our green hills and the Alps at an extremely short distance. From famous Lake Maggiore, which is a synonym of the Dolce Vita, with the enchanting Borromeo Islands, and here you have a picture of Isola Bella on Lake Maggiore, for example, to the clear waters of little Lake Mergozzo and the romantic scenery of Lake Orta, with the picturesque island of San Giulio, and here you have the picture in the middle of the slide, the picturesque hamlet of Orta, San Giulio, which is a picturesque village, a picturesque hamlet which has also gained 2 quality declaration, Bandiera Arancione from Touring Club Italiano, and one of the most beautiful hamlets and villages in Italy, Borghi più belli d'Italia. They are jewels of nature, art, and history, which make this one of the most appreciated holiday destinations in northern Italy. All around the Ossola Valleys, our Alps, which offer all mountain lovers, white forests, high peaks, and wonderful nature parks for those seeking the most unspoiled environments. And here is the secret. In just over an hour from the lake shores with their Mediterranean allure, you can reach the foot of the 2nd highest mountain in the Alps, Monte Rosa, Mount Rosa. Our lakes are one of the leading MICE locations in Piedmont, together with Turin and the Langhe area. Around 70% business clients come to this territory for MICE events from abroad. Our main foreign markets in the sector are Germany, the Benelux area, Switzerland, France, the UK, and Scandinavia. Meetings and conventions, incentive, corporate retreats, and private events are offered in our Lakes district, a winning combination of marvelous venues, professional services, state-of-the-art technology, being able to host corporate activities, meeting the guests' needs. In particular, our destination has a wide variety of accommodations with a MICE proposal, like luxury grand hotels on the lake, or intimate boutique hotels in the hills or at the foot of the Alps, as well as elegant villas and conference centers in strategic locations. Our 4- and 5-star MICE hotels count more than 5,300 rooms and over 1,200 seats in their meeting rooms. The most active ones host an average of 450 events per year. Between conference centers and historical dwellings, instead, our lakes can offer more than 50 meeting rooms with a total capacity of more than 1,600 seats. So we represent a granted hospitality for the MICE sector in the area of the Great Italian Lakes. Now I have finished with my general presentation of our destination as a MICE destination. So I give space to another representative of our territory, who is Mr. Gianluigi Mariani, Director of Grand Hotel des Îles Borromée, to give you an introduction about the very strong relationship between the Congress tourism in our territory and Stresa, which is our most important touristic town on Lake Maggiore, the pearl of Lake Maggiore. And he will describe also the best practice, one of the most relevant case history of a Congress hotel on Lake Maggiore and his success, in particular the hotel he represents, so the Grand Hotel des Îles Borromée 5 stars deluxe in Stresa. So thank you so much for the moment. Thank you for your attention. And Marcella, you can continue.
Yes, thank you, Silvia.
Just stop my presentation.
Okay, thank you, Silvia. If you have any question, keep it in mind for later. We will just leave the last 10, 20 minutes for all the questions about what Silvia and what the Dr. Mariani are going to say. So thank you for this presentation. It's a new kind of Bleisure experience, a new kind of mice, and not only for mice experience. I want to leave the word to Dr. Mariani for this case history, so he can show us what Silvia says, a particular example of what we are presenting today. So please, can you explain to us something about your experience, please?
Thank you for the introduction. Too short, but thank you very much. First, one thing, Silvia has to be to talk about had to talk about all the area, the different lakes that cover the district area. I was born here. I'm running an hotel, and I'm BIZ. So this is going to be a shameless promotion for the Hotel des Îles Borromée and Stresa in particular. So I'm not going to talk about other details. What focuses on the Hotel des Îles Borromée and makes it important, I think, is the area where it is. Okay, we've been running this hotel for 30 years. I'm involved in the ownership, and this was a former Ciga hotel. Those of you who have been around a little bit know that Ciga was a company, the deluxe hotel company in Italy. It went bankrupt in the 90s. And we bought this hotel then. When we arrived here, it was a very nice hotel, very important, iconic hotel on Lake Maggiore, but failed a lot of things. Throughout the years, we've been renovating, restructuring, changing things, adding features. And now the Hotel des Îles Borromée is as it is, but I'll get to that later. What makes it important, a destination in, what makes it so important in Italy, what makes a success of a destination is the connection, the way you can reach it, and the history and the tradition. You might recognize here Mr. Mussolini and Mr. McDonald, Mr. Lavier. That was one of the first big conferences that were held in Stresa in 1935. It was a Stresa conference. It was supposed to avoid the World War II. Well, we all know how it ended, but it's part of the history. Okay, this picture was taken directly inside the Grand Hotel des Îles Borromée. The Grand Hotel des Îles Borromée was opened in 1863. Okay, the connection. Why should somebody choose Stresa? Well, Stresa is easy to reach. It has its charm, it has its history. Napoleon, for example, built the Simplon Pass Road in 1804. And that was one of the biggest road open at the time. It was a very important thing to do. The road that goes directly in front of the Hotel des Îles Borromée starts in Paris at l'Arc de Triomphe and ends in Milano at Arco della Pace, where Foro Bonaparte is. So at that time, this was the way, the street that people were taking to visit Italy during the Grand Tour. Some of you might be familiar with that. The Grand Tour was a phenomenon, was part of the education of the young men of the high society from Northern Europe and England. They were living for maybe 2 years, and they were traveling along Italy to study the classical arts. As you can see here, for example, I have a map of the Grand Tour. It included Palermo, Messina, Taormina. Goethe was here, for example. Dickens was here. And as you can see, Stresa is directly on their path. The Simplon Pass was the only pass that could be crossed during the winter. It took only 11 hours to go from Brig to Domodossola. Well, now it takes 45 minutes. It's a little different, time change, okay? Another big step in the promotion of Stresa was the opening of the Simplon Pass Road in 1906. Through Stresa went the Orient Express. As you can see here, there is an old sign here that shows Stresa and the Orient Express. That was the last big thing, and that launches Stresa as an international destination in throughout the world. Right now, Stresa, as Silvia pointed out, Stresa and the Lake Maggiore area, of course, don't forget the rest, is just 45 minutes from Milano Malpensa Airport. There is a nice highway that reaches Stresa. Most important, Stresa is a beautiful place. You have the islands, you have the lake, you have the blue, you have the green, you have the Lake Maggiore and the white of the snow in the mountains. We offer a variety of things that can be done here, lots of sports, who is outdoorish, not outdoorish, gastronomy. I mean, business, leisure can mix well together. And obviously there is a support of the conference room and conference area. Now the Hotel des Îles Borromée is part of a company that owns two hotels, Hotel Regina Palace and the Hotel des Îles Borromée. Hotel Regina Palace has 214 rooms. Hotel des Îles Borromée has 158 rooms. Often we work together and sharing big meetings. More often than not, we work in different on different kind of markets. This is a 4-star Hotel Regina Palace. Is a 4-star deluxe hotel. Hotel des Îles Borromée, it's a 5-star deluxe hotel. Altogether, we make about 20 million euro per year. In 2019, the income was 20,000 million euro, 19,300 something, which was 13 million euro at the Hotel des Îles Borromée and 9.7 million euros at the Hotel Regina Palace. Okay, we both have big conference rooms. The history of the hotel, I'm just going through it. You can see our address here. Obviously, promotion is important. It was, sorry if you can't help it.
We are here for it.
I told you at the beginning I was going to promote Hotel des Îles Borromée.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's where it all started. These Omarini brothers were on the Borromeo Islands. They were running this hotel called Hotel du Dauphin, and they saw this road in front of them, and they say, hey, wow, there is a lot of traffic going back and forth, because there were all these young people traveling through the Simplon Pass, going to visit Italy. At the time, one single guest could give enough money to run an hotel for a week or so. So it was, and they say, why don't we try and build an hotel there? And so they bought this piece of land for the equivalent of 600 euros, and things worked pretty well. As a matter of fact, after a couple of years, they built another hotel next door to it. I mean, just attached, you can see it here on the screen. See this part here, and there was a Grand Hotel. That's why it's called the Grand Hotel et des Îles Borromée, because it was the Grand Hotel here and the Hotel des Îles Borromée, which was this one. Okay. At the time, well, things went on, and the history developed pretty well. I mean, they start making money on the opening of the Simplon Tunnel, and they start having guests, very important guests at the hotel. One of the most iconic guests was Mr. Hemingway. As you can see here, he was only 19 years old when he was wounded in World War I, and he was sent to Milano to recuperate, to be healed, to be hospitalized. Then during his convalescenza, well, aftercare, he came often to Stresa and got familiar with the surrounding area. He then wrote Farewell to Arms, the famous book. I mean, so everybody knows it in the English literature. Then he came back in 1948. It's here. When he came back in 1948, there was the election of Miss Italia contest, and he made a bet. There's a story about him making a bet with the brother of one of the contestants, and he lost his bet, and the bet was the bill of the bar against his billiard stick. So he lost his billiard stick at the bet here at the Grand Hotel des Îles Borromée. Hemingway was traveling with the billiard stick, just imagine. Okay, this is the Hemingway suite just behind me. Okay, and it's one of a kind. It's 140 square meters. Obviously, there are all comforts, Wi-Fi, etc., big door. Okay, now this is a Grand Hotel des Îles Borromée as it is now. The biggest thing we did, and it's got something to do with Bleisure, is the addition of this wing here. I don't know if you can see the hand. All this part here has been renovated completely. And it's a 30 million euro investment that started in 2019. In 2019, we closed the 14th of October. in order to open in March, late March, and during that time we were planning to rebuild the swimming pool. Then we would have closed again, and we would have done other things, and it was supposed to last. The renovation was supposed to last for like 5 years. Then in February 2020, something happened. I don't remember what, and we had to stop everything. Maybe the pandemic or something like that.
Yeah, maybe,
anyway,
yes.
So we found out, we ended up like, we say, hey, what do we do now? The swimming pool is not going to be open by the time, and by August. And so we decided, we took a very crazy decision, I would say. And we decided to keep the Hotel des Îles Borromée closed until we would have finished all the renovation. So what happened is that we closed in 2019, 14 October, and we reopened in June 2021 after 600 days of closing. That's the longest time the Hotel des Îles Borromée had been closed since its opening in 1863. During the time, we changed the swimming pool, we renovated completely, we added a pools bar outside, and most of all, we added a 3,000 square meter surface of spa. This is dedicated to the spa only, and this is where the business leisure comes into. This hotel has a very big surface dedicated to well-being and to the spa and to the fun and games. As you can see, this is the indoor swimming pool. It's inside and outside is about like 30 meters long, comprising the part inside, the part outside. And this is the outdoor part, okay? There is also a snow cabin for people who are from the northern of Europe, they want to feel the snow under their feet, okay? And a place where you can, well, saunas, hammam, etc., etc. It's highly appreciated from our guests. This is the outside swimming pool. As you can see, it's quite big. And this is a place where we can host up to 200 people having parties, drinking stuff. Or we usually use it for a restaurant outside. Okay, this is our outside restaurant, Le Bistrot des Îles, it's called. Okay, this part in particular, I don't know if you can see the hand moving here.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good. Thank you. This part hosts one of the biggest conference rooms in its in this category of hotel. It's called the Minola Room, and it's it can host up to 380 people. This is a rendering because we just finished it, so we don't have any picture of it, but it can be divided in two parts and offers, well, all that you need for holding a meeting. There is a big LCD display, there is a big screen, the view, it's on the garden, it's outside, so you have natural light, and it's also supported by the kitchen, which is very close by. I mean, this is an important thing. On the lower floor, talking about leisure, there is, it's going to be finished at the end of June. There's going to be a disco and a place where you can taste wine, like Swiss people call it Carnot-Sec. It's a place where you can sit, drink wine, have degustation. Basically, a place where you can have fun, make noise, and do not disturb the guests that are sleeping inside the hotel. They're very boring people. They tend to sleep at night, and if you make a party in the evening with loud music, they complain. I don't know why, still wondering. Anyway, this is basically, okay. Now the facts of the Grand Hotel des Îles Borromée. We host we have 158 rooms, 13 conference rooms from 10 to 300 people. The spa is 30,000 square meters, 3 indoor swimming pool, 3 outdoor swimming pool, a pool restaurant, and obviously an inside restaurant. What people from Northern Italy appreciate, Northern Europe appreciate most of Stresa, about Stresa and about the Grand Hotel des Îles Borromée, it's the way the nature comes into the hotel, and you can step out the hotel and be into the nature. I mean, it's not like Milano, which is a very nice city, where you go out and you got trucks and carriages and stuff like that. Here you are in the middle of a very nice scenery. As Silvia as well described, we got a little bit of everything for everybody. But when you organize a meeting, you also have to have a modern infrastructure that support all your needs. I think, well, I don't think, I'm pretty sure that this hotel can offer, can be a very good venue for any kind of meeting and destination that want to mix leisure and business together. With that, I think I'm in time, correct? Or okay, va bene così? Okay. I think I'm finished. I hope I've satisfied all your answers and been convincing enough. If anybody has a question or something like that, I'd be glad to answer.
Okay. Thank you to the director Mariani for the wonderful reality you have in your hands. So next year we will organize a webinar in your hotel, so we can try the meeting rooms and also the disco. Why not? So we don't stay up on BIZ. So I want to thank you again, the director Mariani. If you have any question, you can just open your PC and talk about, or you can just write on chat. I will read it for you all the answer if there is some question about what we have said today. Just want to I have an answer. Okay, I want to ask to Silvia, what is the season that you when all this experience can be done for MICE, but also for leisure, because we see that this is a virtual journey to show how you can mix MICE experience but also leisure experience. What do you suggest about the season? So maybe this can help someone to do some question about.
Yeah, yes, of course, we have a high season and we have also a low season. Our high season begins normally at the end of March. So with the arrival of spring, and in particular with the opening of the Borromeo Islands, which are Isola Bella, Isola Madre, and all the Borromeo properties on Lake Maggiore, they are our top attraction, as you know, probably. So when they open, and this year they will open on March the 16th. The high season starts, and our high season is quite long because it starts in March and it lasts since the end of October or beginning of November. It depends from the year. We have nowadays we have a very we are normally well known for our mild climate, but of course with the general warming of the earth, not only in our territory, also our high season can be can last also thanks to the climate very well until autumn, and so October and is another month which is quite ideal to come here to visit our top attractions, which are still open, and also to organize an event. So this is our high season. Of course, speaking about Congress, tourism and events in general, we know that they have a particular characteristic. So they are not concentrated, as I think Mr. Mariani can confirm, forcefully during summer, which is quite hot, but they concentrate mainly in spring or at the end of summer, September and October, in autumn, and also in November. So the characteristic of Congress tourism is in our territory, the fact that it can be an added value, of course, for the economy of our territory, because the season, the Congress tourist season, can get longer. And this is also an added value for Congress organizers, for tour operators, and for business clients, because they can enjoy periods which are not so hot, which are not so crowded. And as I said before, the tourist attractions are all still open. And so that can be something to think about. So I always suggest spring for the bloomings and for our botanical gardens. Our villas and gardens, of course, are together with the islands, but not only the islands. We have also other botanical gardens or even public gardens. We will describe them this afternoon with the afternoon section of our session, of our webinar, which are characterized by beautiful bloomings, our typical flowers of Lake Maggiore, camellias, rhododendrons, azaleas. And so this is a perfect period when a private event or a congress, a convention, a corporate retreat or team building incentive can be organized. But I always suggest also September and October, because for me, according to me, they are very beautiful months for the colors of nature. So of course summer is ripen and it's turning to autumn light. Also for your pictures, for your clients' pictures and social communication, let's say. And what else? As I said before, not so many tourists, and you can enjoy all the beauty of our art and culture, food and wine, also wellness offer, but also outdoor. So I always suggest also September and October. This is the general idea. I would also like to add something to what so perfectly Mr. Mariani told before about his hotel. As I also said before, Grand Hotel des Îles Borromée is one of the most successful hotel in Congress sector in our area, in our destination, and so it's the example we wanted to bring to you these today during this webinar. Probably some of you has already worked together with Mr. Mariani or the Grand Hotel des Îles Borromée or Regina Palace, the two Belle Époque Grand Hotels we have in Stresa. But in general, we can say that the Congress hotels in the region of Lake Maggiore, they concentrate, so generally speaking, in Stresa, Baveno and Verbania. So they are the three towns, Verbania is our capital city, around the so-called Borromeo Gulf. So we are in the middle, in the center of Lake Maggiore. In the middle of the lake, you have the beautiful Borromeo Highlands, and you have the beautiful scenery I told you before, so hills and the Alps all around. And so Stresa, Baveno, and Verbania, they are the three most important tourist towns where also Congress hotels they concentrate. We can speak about private hotels or family chains, biggest ones or smallest ones, ones that they have a very long history, a very long traditions, like Regina Palace and Grand Hotels. Others, they are most recent, most modern, but more modern. But they all they all work successfully in this sector. We also have Congress centers, always concentrated in this part of Lake Maggiore. So we have a Congress center in Verbania, another one in Stresa, and another one in Arona, which is a town in the southern part of Lake Maggiore. Then speaking about Lake Horta, we have Congress hotels in the eastern side of Lake Horta. They are, of course, smaller because Lake Horta is smaller, so everything is in proportion, let's say. And we also have boutique hotels, even on the lake or in the hills of Lake Horta, which have a Congress proposal, a nice offer. And then we have also something in Ossola Valleys. We have a new hotel. I can give the name because we have just this one, which is a Congress hotel, in fact, and it's La Vetta in San Domenico. It's a 4-star hotel, and it is a Congress hotel along the slopes of Monte Leone, and in general at the entry of a nature park, which is Veglia de Vero Nature Park, so surrounded by the Alps. In winter, it is a ski hotel. summer, it is in summer or during the high season, of course, it's a Congress hotel as a leisure one, of course.
May I add something to?
Yes.
Okay, what is important, I think, to stress out is that this hotel and basically all the hotels around the Borromeo Gulf, with some exception, are not Congress factories. I mean, we work with individual guests as much with meetings and congresses. So to make you an example, before the crisis in 2008, we were working with 70% was business, 30% was individual guests. Right now, until last year, we were working 85% individual guests, 15% congresses. I mean, the Congress as a pure Congress has decreased a lot. So we had to reinvent the hotel, but basically working in the hospitality industry, hospitality means you talk to individual guests. At the end of the day, a meeting, a Congress is done by many individual guests that come to your hotel and want to feel part of something which is not a Congress. I mean, we cater to more to individuals than meetings. Obviously, if you have 200 people, you have to have some things organized. But right now, for example, we open in the 10th of February, which is very, very low season. Everybody that knows the area around Stresa knows that February is a dead season. I mean, okay, we had on the 11th of February, we had 110 rooms occupied at the Hotel des Îles Borromée during the weekend. That means we had almost 200 people, individual guests, not relating to each other, not organizing the meeting, that we had to address to. And this is what I think is the focus of the hospitality in this area. We address to people, we organize congresses, but it's not purely a Congress business. I mean, it's part of our income. It's very interesting share of our business, but it's not purely congresses. We obviously have a big indoor swimming pool, a big conference room. There is a reason, but right now most of our business income comes from the individual guests and meetings that are picking up again. I don't know if that's the general feeling of the area of the market. Okay, with that, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, Mr. Mariani. Just to finish, we also have the elegant villas, the historical dwellings I told you before. So they complete our MICE offer. So we have hotels, we have congress centers, and we also have the historical villas from the 19th and the beginning of the 20th century, which are located along our Riviera, so in Stresa, but also in the southern part of Lake Maggiore, Belgirate, Baveno, Verbania, and also on Lake Corta, of course, in the hills between the two lakes, in the hilly area between Lake Maggiore and Lake Corta. And so also the elegant villas, of course, it depends from the demand, from the business demand and from your client's needs, but they can also be considered a very important part of our congress and business offer. And of course, we have sorry, Marcella, we have a directory with all the complete list of all these structures that can be used for your events, biggest or smallest ones. And we have also realized a guide, which is MICE and Events, Terra dei Laghi, Terra di Eventi in Italian. And this is our main guide, which is a paper guide, but it's also an ebook. So on our website, distrettolaghi.it, we have an ebook section. And if you register, so it's a completely free registration, it's very easy and also speed, let's say, you can access the ebook section, and inside you will find all our guides and maps. And there is also our guide MySet events. You will find all the structures, of course, villas, congress centers, of course, you will find also Grand Hotel des Îles Borromée. And for each structure, you have a page full of technical informations, so the openings, the number of seats, the number of meeting rooms, number of rooms, if they are also accommodation, if they also offer accommodation, and a general description which was realized according to managers of hotels and villas. So you will find all the information also in this guide. So it could be a very useful tool also for your future work with our territory. And then, of course, as I said before, we remain at disposal as the local tourism board for all your questions. I also see some questions, Marcella.
Yes. There are two questions at the moment. The last one is about what you are saying now about his ebook. If you can share, please, the link so they can see it, they can write the link better.
Yes.
So
I do it immediately. Yes, of course.
Thank you. The other question is about parking. Barbara is asking how many parking places does the hotel have and can be partially privatized? I think it's a question for Dr. Mariani about the parking.
Thank you. I'm not doctor, but thank you very
place.
much. Anyway.
Sorry.
If you want, I can visit you later. No, the thing, that's a good question, because one of the most spectacular events that we organize are rallies of ancient cars, and just people that like to travel with big sport cars. They usually tend to reserve a parking space for themselves and for their cars. And so we have enough space for like 200 and something cars. It's quite spectacular to see. Sometimes they drive these old cars through the Simplon Pass, which is an iconic road, as I said. It's very spectacular. They come from Geneva, they go through the Vallée de Rhône, and then they come through the Simplon Pass, and then they come down to Stresa, and they stop in Stresa, and they show off their car, they have events, they do things, they go out in the evening. They call it rally, and it can be either modern cars, supercars, or ancient cars. But we can, yes, we do have a parking space. We can rent it for a fee, of course, to the guests that sleep in the hotel. And if you want to reserve a whole floor, that can be done too. We have a 3 floors parking space. One of the things we did last year, when everybody was traveling by car, we were the only hotel that didn't have problems with parking in Stresa. That was quite interesting thing to see.
Okay. Janice, I think, just write something about the registration in Distretto dei Laghi for the link. Really.
Thank you. I also found the link. Now I publish it.
Thank you. So it will be easier for the other person to go on the link. Okay. Thank you.
Now it's published, so you can access directly to our guide, Mice and Wedding, Laghi Monti Terre di Eventi.
Okay, there is another question about what about ecological sustainability of your hotels? Because we are in a really particular area, so we're asking about the ecological.
Yes, no, that's a good question. To start with, laws in Italy theoretically are quite strict about what you do with your what you do inside the hotel and the pollution. So all our sewage are equipped with something that processes the grease from the kitchen so as not to pollute the lake. We just during this renovation, we added some things that are able to reduce pollution and save energy, both for ecological point of view and both for economic reason. We have a computerized system that controls the heating all the areas. We have new generation of heaters, and obviously we process our food, keeping an eye on the least possible waste of things. The other thing that we do is to try to convince people to use less laundry. We use, for example, when you have packed lunch, before you could put them in plastic baskets and stuff like that. Now we use only paper, and the swimming pool is clean with salt water and not chlorine. The water is treated in a way to avoid pollution, etc. We keep an eye on that. We try to use only straws. For example, the drinking straws are biologically compatible. They can be thrown with the organic material and stuff. Obviously, we cannot be in the room and say to the guy, hey, please divide the paper from the plastic inside the room. That's impossible. But at the end of the day, when the thing comes down from the floor, we try to divide as much as possible. We are equipped with different organic, inorganic, plastic and metal and glass places where to store things. I mean, that's the utmost we could do. This is obviously an old house with its limits, but as much as we can, we try to respect and be sustainable. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Silvia, do you want to add something about the ecological sustainability of the Lake Maggiore and of the district of the lake? Maybe if you want to add something.
I think that it's something that could be deepened during the second phase of our project. So during the virtual workshop for the tour operators of you who will participate to the virtual workshop, you will have B2B meetings with each single hotel or villas that had shown its interest to participate to the B2B. So the next week, because it's something that it's of course, let's say, managed by each hotel or each Congress Center or villas in a particular way. So I cannot give a specific details about this thing, but in general, of course, as Mr. Mariani said, it's a general effort of all our tourist operators in our territory, not only in the Congress sector, but in general in the tourist sector. A very strong attention to nature, eco-sustainability, and so being eco-friendly in favor of our environment, and of course giving value to the offer for our clients, for our customers.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. There is any question about the two presentations?
I have a question to our tour operators in the audience this morning. Have you already worked with our destination for organizing events and with Grand Hotel des Îles Borromée in particular?
No, it's the first time for everyone? No?
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
It's always the first time, as they say.
Yes, the first time is always the best one.
Okay.
So thank you for being here, for your interest in working for the first time with the territory. We hope that this is the good first step to beginning to work with us.
Okay, thank you. So not yet. There is also a wedding planner, but not yet. Tried, but hotel didn't have availability.
Okay.
What hotel? Tried, but hotel didn't have availability. Last March, I visited and it was amazing.
So Jenny visited the area, Lake Maggiore, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, Jenny, can you? Yes, Lake Maggiore, Silvia. Yeah, she said Lake Maggiore.
Especially the seasonal flowers. So
sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
Well, don't worry, Jenny.
Yeah, I visited last March, and I was so amazed, like, to see like the whole season, all the blossoms and everything, and the hotel itself, everything was just marvelous, and the weather was amazing. We were so fortunate.
The biggest to me, I mean, I was born here, so again, to me, one of the best seasons to visit Lake Maggiore.
It's definitely March.
We have a problem with the connection of Mr. Mariani.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and the hotel itself, the service at the hotel was impeccable. I mean, it was so luxury. It was fantastic. absolutely amazing. I mean, for whoever gets the chance to actually take part in the trips afterwards, because I understand, of course, that there'll be a minimum number of people that can go, but whoever does, it's definitely bring a camera and make the most of the couple of days that you're there, because it's absolutely brilliant.
Perfect. Thank you, Jenny.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Mariani is arrived.
Yes.
Okay.
I was away. I don't know.
Yeah, just a little bit with the connection.
Okay. Because I
Like
saw my
screen.
screen freezing. Yes.
Okay. There was Natalia. I've organized an event with the Zucker Hotels.
Okay, yes, Zucker Hotel is another very important chain for the Congress sector in our territory.
Zucker who?
But there is Veronica, and as organized 2 years ago at the Regina Palace, a Congress. Okay.
Good, bravo.
There is a question about the transportation. Do you have, just with high voice, do you have your own transportation solution? I mean, do you have your own bus for transfer or your private car for individuals? Maybe someone arrived, don't want to rent a car. I think.
In the area, you have a car rental company, Avis, just in Stresa, or you can rent the cars in Malpensa. If you need bus transportation and stuff, there is a very professional agency here in Stresa, just 200 meters from us. It's called Boroni Agency, and they have everything to transport from 5 to 200 to 2 people. They have taxis, buses, and stuff like that. They were capable, and they're also a good support, a good support for team building activities. They have a lot of contacts in the area. Yes, that's. But we don't have our own private cars. No, there is no space for that. No.
Okay, but you can suggest. You can suggest where they can.
There are a couple of agencies.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, we can offer all the support you need for finding venues, finding areas, where finding agency that can help you to sort all kind of problems. I mean, it's, as I say, the area is well connected and has a long tradition of congresses and meetings, so it's not difficult to solve any kind of problem that might arise.
Okay.
As a local tourism board, we also have a complete contact list of all the bus companies, local bus companies, and also the van and the minibus services that our territory can offer. So if you need to rent and to reserve a service like that, we have a complete list of all the transports. Of course, each hotel, they have their own partners, but if you want to have a general idea of these kind of services, we have the complete list with all the contacts. Bus, minibus, rental cars, and also the boat companies, so the ferry and the motorboat companies for private services on the lakes.
Is everything on website, really, Silvia?
No, these contact lists, they are not on the website because they are, let's say, technical information just for the professionals, but we can share, of course, all these contact lists with you.
Okay, thank you.
So if via passport, after the webinar, I will get your contact list. So we will, of course, send you all this kind of information.
Okay, I think it will be a good idea. Yes, please, that will be useful. Yeah.
Perfect. Yes, of course.
Okay. At the end, we can add to webinar this kind of information. Yeah. Okay. Any questions? I think you have explained everything for this morning. Okay.
Do you have any question about the destination, so the territory, our attractions, or other questions about, in general, our landscapes?
At the moment, no.
This afternoon, we will speak about the Bleisure experiences. So I will give you some examples, some proposals for a business and leisure stay according to the most contemporary, most modern tourist trends, let's say. And of course, during this second part of our action, of our project. So during the virtual workshop, you will have also the chance to speak about my colleague, Jessica. So also our local tourism board, we will attend the B2B event, so the virtual workshop next week. So you will have the chance to speak with our private operators, but also with us. There will be my colleague Jessica to give you all the practical information for organizing a MICE event, a congress, a convention, or a private event, or even a wedding in our territory.
Okay, I'm going to share you the email just to, if you want to subscribe to the workshop, is eventi@viralpassport.com. So if you want to register, you can subscribe there. And
if you have not done that
yes,
yet.
Thank you, Silvia. Yes, if you have not done yet. But I think it's okay for the moment. If someone don't have any question, Silvia or the director, do you want to add something? No, we can.
No, I think we cover all the bases. The
you.
most important thing is that the message I want to go through is to pass is that whichever destination you choose, either my hotel or Hotel Regina, forget that out the rest. But whichever destination you choose, you can find people that are professionally capable and able to meet to satisfy all your requests and function as a support for organizing a meeting. I think that's the most important thing that people look for when they organize a meeting, either a MICE or a 10 people meeting or an incentive, is they need to have an interface with the hotel and that can be they can relate to. I mean, it's important having professional people doing what they do. I mean, so either you want to have an helicopter landing in front of your hotel or renting a whole boat for 50 people eating outside. I mean, that can be done. Okay. So basically, that's the most important thing that you can.
Yes, professional service, and also the importance of the human relationship.
Infrastructures and stuff. Yeah, that's also human relationship is important, but you need to have an infrastructure of service and the people that can manage it. I mean, that's what I can say. It's that Stresa has a tradition in the formation of in the hotel industry. I mean, there was here was the first hotel school in Italy, the Hotel Scuola Alberghieri Stresa. Let's not forget that. That's an important detail. I mean, it was not for nothing that it was built here, because of the tradition of tourism and stuff like that. It's quite important, that too. Okay.
There is just the last question. Another question, sorry. Are you gonna be part of Olympic Games 2026?
I wish we were. I mean, we were involved in the Winter Games in Turin.
Yes, in 2016, in 2006.
2006. And we, John Hancock, it's a very big company in the United States for insurance and a very big sponsor of the Winter Games, rented the hotel for 4 weeks back to back. And it was an impressive, very impressive organization. I mean, there were people, they knew what they were doing, and they find in us a very good support. And we just had the whole hotel rented for them. They were leaving from the morning from Stresa to go to Turin and follow the games and coming back by bus. And was a very nice experience, very interesting. But we haven't had anything yet from 2026 games, no.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that, of course, our region, Piemonte, and our territory, we are very close to Milan. And so we will be surely involved in this very big event because of our proximity, let's say, with Milan, and also because Regione Piemonte is investing a lot in the ski, let's say, in the ski promotion, winter promotion, and in the winter offer. So there is a very strong care and attention about this team. So I think that the involvement will be granted, and of course the involvement of our accommodation structures, I think. Not only as in the public level, but also the private ones.
Okay, good. Other question about? Okay.
profit of the moment. So don't be scared.
Shame, don't be scared. Don't worry.
We have time.
I'm just going to read.
We have time. So if you have any other questions, we are here for you.
About with the season, about the food, you can ask about everything. We are here just to answer to or doubt. There is no.
Perhaps people who will not attend the afternoon section.
Okay.
No other questions, but
no other question at the moment. Yeah,
there are no problem because we have time also in next weeks to deepen our relationships and our knowledge. So I think that you tour operators will be our contacts also for the next weeks. Going on with the project, and so we will keep your contacts and we will keep in touch with you.
Thanks for the information this morning.
Thank you too. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you
for your presence to everyone for the morning. We will see the afternoon, 2 p.m. Really, okay. Silvia. Thank you.
Yes, another information, another news, let's say I can share. We will be attending the ITB fair in Berlin from the 7th to the 9th of March. So if any one of you will be attending too, you can just pass by. We will be in the stand Piemonte in the Enit Italia area. So I will be personally there, so it would be a pleasure to meet you in person.
Okay, Jenny, I won't be there. Okay,
there will be another occasion.
Obviously, thank you very much for.
Thank you, Natalia.
Next stop is Arabian Travel Market Dubai. Okay.
Jenny
will be at. Okay.
Wow, Arabian Travel Market Dubai. Perhaps Mr. Mariani, Grand Hotel Isid Bormé, will attend to the Arabian Travel Market Dubai.
No, we're not going there. No.
Okay.
No, that would be interesting, but we're not going there. No.
Okay.
Joanna is asking if there is a recording of this morning session because she's arrived too late.
Yes.
Will be in this afternoon. At the end, we will send. At the end of the day, we will send the registration, the form to go on a web to have the web registration link. Really, Silvia, we are going to send everything at the end of the day with the morning.
With Stefano, yeah, Vera Passport will send the registration of the webinar.
Yes, with the morning section and with the afternoon section. Just so we will give you the link to see all the registration. Anyway, Silvia is, if you ask the contact of Silvia, so you can just send she an email to ask her what do you need and all the curiosity about this wonderful piece of Italy.
The most wonderful piece of Italy.
Of course. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you.
Okay.
We will see you in the afternoon. Thank you. We'll see you in the afternoon.
See you in the afternoon.
Yeah. Thank you to Mariani. Have a good work.
Thank you very much.